Hello everyone, this is Heather here from Felt Mercantile, and we are on day 11 of our DIY Advent Calendar series. If you haven't been following so far, be sure to check out the past videos, and if you have been liking them, don't forget to hit that like button. So today we're going to be making some cranberry sauce as part of our mini series within a series of our turkey dinner. So in just a second, I'll show you the materials. If you've been liking this series, guys, please hit subscribe to the channel and hit the alert button just so you can stay up to date on all the videos we'll be posting in December. So today's project is going to be a little bit different than our previous projects. I will show you why in a second. So we're going to be needing some cranberry colored felt, I guess it's burgundy colored. Just a square piece and then a loose piece, any scrap that you have, because we're going to have to be cutting this piece to size after we finish sewing. So we'll need those pieces of felt. This is just going to be the base, which we're also going to be cutting as well. You will need some burgundy or cranberry colored thread. We will need a needle. And then I'm going to be using for this project wool roving, and then I'm going to need my foam block with my fine point needle felting needle to make little tiny balls for our cranberry sauce. If you want to skip this bit, you can always just buy like really little tiny pom-poms. Otherwise, yeah, let's get started with this video. So first we're going to take a little bit of roving, just a tiny bit, and we're going to tie it in a knot because we will be making tiny little balls. So this is always a good way to start a spear type shape when you're needle felting. And I just roll around, and because I've been making these all day, I've found I don't need my thimbles anymore. I'm just going slow with this project, but definitely protect your fingers, guys, because this tiny little fine tip needle is extremely sharp, and I have definitely drawn blood before, so you don't want to be doing that. Luckily not today, knock on wood. I don't feel like bleeding on this piece. Luckily it is red, but let's try and avoid that. Yeah. So we just want to keep flipping our piece as we make our little ball. And you just want it to be dense enough so that it acts as a nice filler for the inside of the piece. Make them cranberry sized. You know, you could always do this project without little balls, but my family always used the whole cranberry sauce. Actually, to be honest, we had both, because there's just something about that cranberry sauce in the shape of a can after it comes out. It's just so darn tasty. For this project, you don't have to use, you can use any color of roving you want, because we're just going to be putting it on the inside and you won't see this in the end. It's just to make little shapes for the inside. The first time I did this project, I tried it just with little balls of the polyfill, except they are quite bouncy. The polyfill's got a lot of bounce to it and not a lot of hardness, so it just didn't end up looking the way that I wanted it to. So this is attempt number 2, and there we go. So you just have to make one of these balls, and I wanted to say one, but sorry guys, you know me. You want to be making 20 of these balls. This should be enough for the project size, but you can always go a bit more if you want. I wouldn't go any less than 20. Like I said, if you want to save the time, you can just go and buy those tiny little pom-poms. So I'm going to get set up for the next stage, and I will be back in a second. Alright, so now we're ready to start sewing. I've just put my thread on my needle here. We're going to take just a large piece of scrap, take one of these little balls, and you're going to put it right in the center. You are going to bring your needle up just through the very side bottom of it there. And so this project, we want to pinch around the ball and you're going to wrap your thread around that ball inside a couple times. Let's give it 4 just to be safe. And then you're going to go right back on the edge, down through the back. Oops, it's a little harder than it looks. Just right through the back without picking up any extra layers. There we go. And you're going to want to keep that tight and just pull that taut to make your final stitch. So we're going to want to come in with the next ball just right next to that one and do the same thing. So again, in through the bottom, just on the very bottom edge of this round ball piece. Oops. Try not to get it stuck. And we're going to wrap around. Give it 4 times here for effect. Just make sure it is really tight before you place that stitch, or this will come out pretty quickly before you've done sewing. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and right back through to the back. There we go. Make sure it's tight. All right, so you can see this effect we've got going on here. So you're just going to keep going with all of the 20 balls, and rather than have you sit here and watch me, I'm going to finish this up, and I'll see you in a second to show you the next step. Good luck. Phew, and we made it. That is all 20 balls sewn in there. If you pause the video to do this yourself, then you know I feel for you guys. Like, this is a fun project. It's beautiful in the end, but oh my goodness, it takes quite the dexterity to be able to sew in all these little balls here. So now that we're done, you're just going to want to take some scissors, and without cutting your stitches, guys, because you don't want to do this again. Just be very careful and trim away the excess fabric. Do not cut those stitches. And yeah, once you cut away all the extra fabric, we're just going to place this piece on top of our square that we had from before. And we're going to whip stitch around the whole bottom. So I'm going to come back just in a second after I cut this, because it is quite detailed and I don't want to keep you guys for too long. So yeah, just cut as close to the edge as possible without going into your stitches and still leaving a tiny bit of room so you can whip stitch around the edge. See you in a sec. Okay, I've trimmed off the excess. It is looking beautiful. So now we take our square piece from before, put that on top, flatten it out a little bit, and we're just going to want to cut the base piece. Just loosely cut around the edges. The reason you don't want to cut this base piece before you finish sewing the top is because we want it to match up, and it's kind of a fluid project, so it will look different every time you make it. So that's why we can't just go off pattern pieces. This one was literally a flyby for creating. So now that we've got our base piece cut, we're just going to go around and whip stitch the edge of the top piece to the edge of the bottom piece all the way around, and I will come back with a finished product. See you in a second. And that's it. We are done. So there is our finished piece right there of our cranberry sauce. I know it is a shorter video, but it definitely was a bit of a longer project, but I'm glad that we've finished this portion of our Christmas dinner here, and we can move on to the next bit, which you can find out about tomorrow. So please subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date with all the videos that we'll be posting. And don't forget to hit the alert button as well, because that lets you know that I've posted the videos. The other thing, if you have any project ideas, please feel free to comment below. If you have any comments, suggestions, anything really, we just want to chat, just comment below, and I do my best to respond as soon as possible. Like this video if it is something that you found useful, and I really appreciate you. I hope that you will be joining us tomorrow, and I will see you then. Bye.